Hello students, how are you all? Once again, welcome to the Blues Talking Memo. As you know, this is the series of accounting principles, and underneath accounting principles, we are studying the accounting concepts. It will be the fifth accounting concept today, the dual aspect concept. Let me know first of all, have you attended a marriage ceremony? Of course, you would be attending lots of marriage ceremonies during your lifespan. Suppose there is a marriage ceremony. In a marriage ceremony, groom offers marriage proposal to the bride and the bride refuses that. Would that be a valid marriage or would the marriage happen? Of course not. And take it other way around. If the bride, proposes groom and he refuses to marry him, of course, there would be no marriage ceremony. There would be no marriage contract unless both the parties accept the offer verbally and then they sign on the paper, the marriage paper, of course. But there is also an aspect in the Muslim marriage that's called the dower, the aspect of dower, to which we called haq meher in Urdu or Arabi. So a groom offers marriage proposal to bride for 1 lakh rupees dower, let's say. And the bride says, no, would accept this offer if this bridal gift or the dower money is rupees 2 lakh. Would that be a valid marriage? Of course, no. So, what is missing here? The two concepts are missing here. Number one is the compliance of offer. Number two, the compliance of haqqa meher or the bridal gift or dower. So there should be, this is called the dual aspect. Likewise in accounting, as you know, I told you that every account in accounting is either debit or credit. And as I told you, these debit and credit are the symbols. Debit is denoted by the sign of plus or positive sign, and credit is denoted by minus or negative sign. So these are debit and credit symbols of any account. In the dual aspect concept, according to this concept, for every debit, there is a credit. For every debit, there is a credit. For every debit, there is a credit. So let me tell you this with the help of an example. Suppose there is a person, Mr. XYZ, and he brings in his business a sum of rupees 100,000 as cash. So what would be the accounting entry here? Entry would be journal entry. I'm talking about the journal entry. That would be cash to capital. Cash to capital. And the cash will be debited here. As you know, the first account is always debit and the second account is always credit. So this is the credit account, this is the debit account, and cash, what will be the amount here? For example, if I say that it's rupees 50,000 and this is rupees 100,000, would it be correct? Would this be the correct accounting entry in this case? No, of course not. But if I say that Mr. XYZ has deposited rupees 50,000 in his bank account, would that entry be correct in this case? Because the capital, of course, is coming rupees 100,000, but the cash is rupees 50,000. This is not a satisfied or balanced, entry. So would we say that this is wrong entry? Instead, this entry should be correct in case if I place rupees, if I write rupees 100,000 here, or if I write bank by rupees 50,000 here. So this entry would be correct in these two cases. I hope you understand. There is also another aspect of this dual aspect concept, that's the concept of accounting equation. Assets should be equal to the equities. So, what are the assets? What are the equities? Assets, as you know, the assets, anything that is owned by the business, whether in form of cash, in form of building, in form of stock, every such thing in form of bank balance. Let's say these all are the assets. What are the equities here? Equities in my previous example, which I have given, that Mr. XYZ brings a sum of rupees 100,000 in his business. So in this case, there should be the sum of 100,000 cash, that's the asset of the business, and likewise it is also the equity of the business, equity or the capital of the business, because this is the money which the owner, Mr. XYZ, gives to business as creditor. So the owner, Mr. XYZ, is the creditor of the business. Yeah, of course he's the creditor. Suppose his business is ABC Limited, any company, so he's the creditor of ABC Limited. And at any point of time, this accounting equation, like assets should always be equal to equities in the business. For example, if I say that he brings, he deposits in his bank account rupees 50,000, so this amount will be 150,000 rupees in that case, and this amount would also be 150,000 rupees. 150,000 rupees in this case. So, because due to the bank, 50,000 would be added in this and also to this side because it's also the capital. So at any point of time, this equation should be equalized. This equation should be equal, or it should satisfy in accounting. I would talk about the accounting equation in detail in my next video. Of course, this is basically the basic principle in order to understand. So what the equities are? You would think what the equities are. Let me rub this off. Equities. Do you know about liabilities? Of course you know that liability is responsibility, financial responsibility towards you, which you have to pay. So this is the equity. This is also responsibility. So two types of equities, two types in business. Number one is owner's equity. Number two is outsiders equity. So we also call the owner's equity as capital. As you know, the money which an owner invests in the business, that's the capital for the business, and that's also the equity of the business towards the owners. And outsiders equity is also called the liability. Liability. So we could also write that accounting equation as assets is equal to capital plus liabilities, because capital plus liability is known as equity. Known as equities, and the capital is the owner's. Capital is the owner's equity and outsiders equity is called the liabilities here. I hope you understand this initial concept of accounting equation here. So, students, we can say now that for every tablet, there is a tablet by the same amount of money. As you know, why I have written here the same amount of money, because if one thing, the debit amount is 100,000, the credit should also be 100,000. If the debit is 100 rupees, the credit should also be 100 rupees while making the journal entries in accounting. As you know, students, this is the modern or the double entry system of accounting. So the basis of double entry system of accounting is this concept, the dual aspect concept, which says that for every debit which is there, it should be a credit by the same amount of money. It's just like the offer or proposal, marriage proposal, that if a bride says to groom, or a groom says to bride that I would marry you, would you accept my marriage offer for the consideration of a sum of 100,000 rupees as dower money? And she repeats the same, that yes, I do accept your offer for a consideration of 100,000 rupees of dower. That would be the valid marriage ceremony. So what makes it the valid, of course, this dual aspect concept, the dual aspects of saying yes, and saying yes by accepting the same amount of money at the time, and the consent of both parties should be the same at that time of the marriage contract. Likewise, the dual aspect concept says that the consent, the two accounts should also be complied like that by the amount of debit and credit. One should be debited, one should be credited from the same amount. I hope you understand this concept, the dual aspect concept. Students, if you like this video, please like it, share it with other students, and also subscribe to the Blues Talking Memo for more educational videos. So bye bye for today. Thanks for watching.